Hey y'all! So today's video is so unplanned. I don't even actually know what I'm gonna be doing. I just was like, I'm out here, sweatpants and all. I don't even have a mic on, and I figured I'd just take you along. Corona's had me in the dumps, but it's a nice sunny day. It's breezy and kind of loud, so sorry about the audio. I could go upstairs and grab my mic, but that would defeat the whole purpose of this being effortless. So join me on my effortless day, doing who knows what. Here we go. So first things first, I'm going to be giving my planters on my deck a little bit of liquid fertilizer. It is our last frost date here in Zone 7B, so I am pushing my limits by planting Tiny Tim tomatoes. And I have this cute little dome cover for them because I really am pushing the limits. It's supposed to be like 35 degrees tonight. So we'll see. I literally have 7 more Tiny Tim tomatoes in the house, so I can stand it if I lose 2 of them. So I saved this Shasta daisy from Brooklyn when we moved. I had it in a pot and it didn't last long for bloom wise. I think I got it off the clearance rack from like Home Depot or something. One of those hauls that I did. And look how beautifully it's coming back. This is just insane. Oh, I'm so excited. I wintered over a lot of this from Brooklyn. This sage here came from Brooklyn. It is the sage gray. And so that wintered over really well. This oregano, unfortunately, did not winter over the best. I purchased this too from Bonnie. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. This thyme I popped out of my garden bed from Brooklyn and brought, and that wintered over really well. Could probably use a good little trim. It's got a lot of new growth there at the bottom, and it smells delicious. And this parsley was started from seed upstairs in my plant room, and it is single Italian parsley. So that makes me really happy. I feel so good about myself. This was just a little baby seed, and I grew it. Magnificent. Look at this. I should really try to make a dent in this today. So basically, there were just a bunch of bricks like thrown here. I think at one point it was supposed to be somewhat of a pathway, but there's no retaining wall here where the juniper is, so the soil just kind of leaches out, and then it covered up all of the stones. So we thought it was grass until we started digging and running into stone. So now we're trying to fashion out a pathway, see what we like. Then we're going to come through, level it out, get the sand and whatnot to DIY our own pathway. But for now, we're just trying to lay them out, see how many bricks we have. It's going to hopefully come straight down from the fence that hopefully will get fixed one day as well. We're hoping the pathway comes straight down and does a strong 90-degree angle into the house. And look at this tarp. This is all just a mess. Like, we are, as a whole, a mess. We've got a big pile of brush here. We've got this, under this tarp is a big pile of more brush. Look at that, more brush. Because of all of the things here that needed to be trimmed. So basically the first thing I did when we got here was assess like what was dead, what needed to be trimmed, what hadn't been pruned in like a decade, and like went at it with everything I had. I really took after trees and bushes and shrubs, and then thought to myself after I was done, where am I gonna put all this? And so I drug it back here, and Daniel ended up making a little baby fire pit, so we've been like trying to burn a lot of it. We used some for trellising, we mulched a lot of it, so we're using it in different ways, but it's taking, there's a bee circling around my feet right now. Wow! As I was saying, we're trying to utilize it in a bunch of different ways so it doesn't go to waste, but it's taking forever. And we have nobody to help us, obviously, because Corona. So as you can kind of see, not much has changed. So it's kind of hard to get out here and tackle all of this. And not a lot has changed because when you start getting into it and realize how much work there is to be done, sometimes it can be really taxing and overwhelming. And I have some back and knee injuries, and it makes it hard to kind of use all of that energy on the garden space, which means it's taking forever. But I will show you what we have so far. So in the first bed here, it looks like we have some broccoli smoldering underneath this cap, but doing really well, it looks like. We've got some garlic planted right next to it. We've got this sad looking cauliflower. So I got in here a couple of days ago and ants had just like nested in there. So I don't know if this cauliflower is coming back. There's another one. They were like all over the place. Let me see if I can show you. Ooh, oh, this was never nailed down. Glad it didn't fly away. Yeah, so these cauliflowers were suffering, and it looks like there are still a few ants in here, so I'm going to get my diatomaceous earth and handle that. But I do have one more cauliflower up with my other seedlings, so I'll plant that in a pot and give it a better chance, since it may or may not be our only one. Got a cabbage back here. Look at this. It's so heavy with aphids, it's bending. I was trying to hold out so I could save some of these kale seeds, but oh my goodness. That is just something I never ever want to see ever again. See if I can find a good batch of them. There we go. So gross. Our potatoes got a little frostbitten the other day, but we cut that part off and held them up, and they seem to be coming back just fine, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, and under here, our lettuce, which is actually looking really good. Might have a salad today. That looks really good. Oh, wow. I'm actually a little stunned. Some Lola Rosa. I believe this is the gourmet mix. Yeah, it's the gourmet mix. So these are some Walla Walla onions that I started from seed, and they are so unhappy. It's making me unhappy. But I don't know what happened. I don't know why they hate me, but I was smart enough to realize it pretty early, and I was able to get some red onions started over here. So I've got some red onions scattered about. The reds are coming up pretty strong, so I might just have to say goodbye to the Walla Wallas. Look at these bunching onions about to flower. How cool is that? And another cabbage. So just wanting to protect that. This is one of the more glorious beds. Lots of radishes here. I've got cherry bell and French breakfast in the front. I've got spinach, peas, and onions in there. So the peas I'm trying to get to climb up these. I might need to make one more string a little bit lower for them, which I can do right now. tied up, and this one seems to want to hold on. The one over there still doesn't quite reach, so not yet. All right, now I'm going to take after these plants with some fertilizer. I'll show you what I use here, if I can find it. Oh, I might have left it somewhere else. I don't know where it is. Yep, I can see it over on the porch, so back down we go. We have to come all the way around because I'll actually show you why. This juniper behind me blocks us from going straight through. So actually I'll show you what we're thinking. So there's, obviously this is a pretty big hedge, runs all the way down to the front there. We're thinking about right where the pathway leads up, we want to take this juniper out. And it lines up kind of perfectly. You can see right there. We want to take that one out. And then I'll be able to go straight through, and that would be wonderful instead of walking the whole way around every single time. All right, got my fertilizer, and I'm heading back to the garden space now. This is the Fox Farm Grow Big. I used it last year. I didn't really know much about it, so I bought it and it worked great. So I'm still using it today. So I fertilize like more established plants, and then seedlings that I kind of just put in there, I like take it easy on. Especially like the carrots don't even have their true leaves yet, so I don't fertilize those. I'll water those in a second, but first I wanted to show you something hysterical. Can you see these asparagus plants? Do you understand how enormous that is? And don't mind the weeds. There are weeds in there, but I haven't pulled them because they kind of look and feel like borage seedlings. So I don't want to pull them until I find out if they are or are not, because I think that would be wonderful. But these asparagus plants are so big. That's at least like 3 feet tall. I mean, these are just starting to sprawl out a bit. Now I couldn't really harvest these because they're technically in their second season, but I ended up obviously moving them from Brooklyn to here, so I just wanted to give them a chance to figure out their life. And this parsley was also started from seed in my plant room, and it's struggling a little bit in this native soil, but it's still alive, so I just keep trying to throw some compost on it because you can see how extremely crummy our native soil is. Oh, it's awful. It's so bad. But hopefully I can amend it in time. Just a height comparison on this asparagus, because I'm 5'8". Look at it. Look where it comes to on me. It's like a 4-foot asparagus. My gosh. And then here is the flower garden that we've been working on for the last month, because every time we try to like till the soil and level it out to get some flowers planted, we pull up giant boulders like this. This is what happened 2 days ago when we were like, okay, we're gonna plant it up today, we're gonna put our snapdragons out, it's gonna be great. We pulled this giant boulder out of that hole, and I pulled another one out of this hole a couple days before then. That's right here. This is a giant slope right here. I don't know if you can see it in comparison, but it slopes down right here because I pulled that giant boulder out of the hole. So it's just taking a while to get it leveled out. The alliums are coming in really nicely. I'm hoping that as they kind of naturalize in this space, they get a bit taller, but look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, I can't wait for that to just do its thing. So I wanted to back up and kind of give you a vision. One day, we're hoping to put a greenhouse there where the flower garden is now, add 2 more garden beds, and fence this in with an enclosure between the squirrels and the beavers and the rabbits. And now I have a pet mouse. It's not my pet, but it makes me think of them more compassionately if I call them like friend, pet, BC, which is what I call the cat that lives in our neighborhood, Black Cat. All of these beautiful creatures are ruining my garden. So yes, I'd like to have it enclosed one day. And by one day I meant this year, but then, shall I say it one more time? Corona. So maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see. So that's about all for the vegetable garden space. There's really kind of not too much going on. So yeah, I don't want to be boring and show you just repetitive stuff if we're not doing anything. But before I go, water, everything, I want to show you my pink pathway. Y'all, when this pink pathway is finished, it will be my everything. So if you don't know me, pink is my favorite color. And like, this is just a dream right now. So Daniel doesn't care about this, but I want to fill this in with pine nuggets. We're not super sure exactly what we want for the pathway, but obviously for being inexpensive and a time of, make do right now, these pine nuggets are going to do just fine. So we're going to fill that in with pine nuggets, and then hopefully just keep planting things that bloom pink. Now, if you don't follow me on Instagram, then you won't know, but shameless plug, you should, that I just got these beautiful English daisies for $3. I could use some water, but they'll get some in a second. $3. And I have some ranunculus inside that I want to plant out that were $1. And so I'm so excited about that. Now, what I'm thinking is next year, I definitely want to add another bunch of tulips right here because it's just a little odd. So I'd like to add another patch of tulips here. And this summer, we're going to be putting those black walnut gladiolus that I had growing in Brooklyn. We're going to be putting those in here too. So keep your eyes out for this pink pathway because, I don't know if you're excited about it, but I sure am. So that's all for today. I hope that wasn't too boring. I've got a lot of just, general maintenance things to do, like watering and trying to level out that land back there for land. It's a little patch of dirt. Bye. Trying to level out that little patch of dirt for my flower garden. So just a few things like that. And thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one. Bye.